This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 104.3 FM WQAM. Wendell, the point thing. Getting used to it, baby. Happy Tuesday to everybody out there. We've all licked our wounds a little bit. We're feeling better, I think. I don't know. I was watching a video on the way in, Leroy, of OJ McDuffie, and he looks like he's going through it right now with this whole loss. He did not feel good about it, so I hope he's doing okay. But I feel a lot of pain in this city right now with how the Dolphins performed in Week 1.
Yeah, it was disappointing. After further review.
Oh, don't do it.
No.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna say this. They don't have the type of offense, because even with all that passing, they still, when they're doing well, have 9-10 play drives. They don't have the offense that enables them to change, to go from slow to fast, meaning that they only had the ball for 2 minutes, 2+ minutes in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So do you change gears a little bit? Do you pick up the pace a little bit? Do you try to do something different? So when I look at the time of possession,
right,
and I'm thinking, you trying to run that same offense that you methodically move the ball down the field, and you can't stop the other team. You need to throw them your fastball and stop trying to, they need to go to something different. And they never did. They tried to run their offense.
They didn't, though. Like, they didn't really get a chance to even throw any pitches. It's like you went
right.
in there.
That's what I'm saying.
You threw 3 meatballs, and it was tattooed out of the park. At that point, you're basically, when you're a starting pitcher at that point, you're just trying to eat some innings because the game is lost.
Right.
There's no other pitch to go to. So I guess you're just hoping that it's a better outing next time and you got your stuff.
And that's the way that game felt. Right. Circumstances were that, what I thought and what we all thought before the season started, if I said, what was the strength of the team? You would say that front seven on defense.
Yep.
They did absolutely nothing. Nothing. In fact,
other than
they moved the ball. I mean, think about this. The strength of your team, right? What you would say the most reliable portion of your team never gave up a punt. So if everybody in Miami thinks that, the team thinks that, these are our dogs. These are the guys that's going to, put pressure on Daniel Jones and do something to change the momentum of the game. And they did nothing. That sucks the life out of everybody else. Because now, if they beat your best, who's stepping up?
Right. No, I get you. I definitely think that one of the things you were hopeful for this year was, because we talked ad nauseum about how thin they are at cornerback, just got thinner, by the way, is that's going to be at least something that strikes fear in the heart of other teams. It's going to make an impact. And it did nothing. I mean, you added, we were even talking about what an embarrassment of riches. You got Matthew Judon here on top of Chubb, Chop, and Jalen Phillips. It did nothing. I mean, Daniel Jones had all day. Now, perhaps, we're going against New England that's got a much younger offensive line, though, which was terrible last year, but they've revamped it a lot. They spent high draft picks and capital and free agency on all that. So you're hopeful that this will make a bigger impact this time around. But yeah, it wasn't as disappointing as the offense, because the offense was non-existent, but it was definitely, I think, probably the most stunning thing out of anything, because we've seen the offense kind of stink up the joint recently. But I think we were all hopeful that the defense would be making more impact plays, and that definitely wasn't there.
Right. And so now you regroup. And I hate when you have games like this, stinkers, and people say you don't have any passion or they look unprepared. I mean, it's hard to look prepared when you're only playing 2 minutes, right? One side of the ball is playing 2 minutes. And then keep in mind, if the other side of the ball is playing 12 plus minutes, then you sucking the life out of them.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time that gets to the fourth quarter, you got nothing.
I think it is, and I think you're looking for an explanation because in the NFL, most games are close. Most games, you always say they got pros on the other side. And when you look so unprofessional because it's such a blowout, you're looking for other explanations,
right?
For why it was so lopsided.
I got you.
That's what that is.
I got you. You know, what the boxer said. I
got 10:07. Yes, I'm aware the honor light doesn't work.
When a boxer tells you I got the best jab in the business and then go get knocked out.
Yep.
I mean, all camp. And again, you can talk about all the other stuff.
Yep.
But in the end, it only counts what you do on Sunday. And you could put all these things around, oh, we weren't this, we weren't that, we weren't this. But if you don't play on Sunday, nobody cares how close you are. Nobody cares what your culture is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, the Heat won 37 games last year, and we were talking about, people were saying culture. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right? Because you're not winning.
It's their thing, you know.
No, I know.
Anybody who's throwing that out, I mean, it was so bad that they they're icing the whole mantra in the paint last year. You know, they got rid of they basically dropped the Heat culture jerseys halfway through the season for Vice jerseys.
Right.
You know.
So from that standpoint, you regroup, and I don't know how, because half of your team's already hurt.
Yeah.
After week 1.
Let's get to our headlines, which are brought to you by Doral Kia. Doral Kia, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Kia or at DoralKia.com. Morning, Vlad. How are you today?
Better than you guys.
Well, I mean, not a high bar. We're pretty low right now.
Better than you guys.
We're pretty low right now, dude.
I watched the show yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to know what's going to happen in the second hour. What's good, what should I just play regular music?
Just regular music, yeah. Okay. Just a regular rejoin. No, hour 2 is suspended. It's suspended indefinitely with a chance for appeal if there is a Bills win. If they beat the Bills, then hour 2 can be appealed. It can go. No, I'm telling you right now. I've already ruled on it. I've already ruled on it.
You can't be that wishy-washy. I've
already ruled on it.
I'm not suspended.
No. I've already dealt it down. We're not going back to the appeals case. You can do your interviews. You could do your appeals and all that. But no, I'm not going in front. No. I've already ruled.
You never said that yesterday.
You never said that yesterday. No, you didn't.
You guys,
listen,
never said,
guys,
if they win the Bills.
Guys, I really need you to do a job with having a radio program. I absolutely said in the ruling he has chance for appeal. Hour 2 has chance for appeal if they beat the Bills. It doesn't mean he will get cleared, but I absolutely said that. If you didn't hear that, Posh, be honest. Go back and listen.
If you didn't hear it either,
that's on you.
No,
I didn't hear it either.
That's what I said. If they beat the Bills.
Wait, what's going on here? Why is these mics weird?
I don't know.
Why is mic 2 on, but mic 3's working?
I don't know. I don't have answers for that. I know that there was wire crossings here over the morning. The on-air light doesn't work.
Mickey Mouse operation.
They don't want me to yell at Tobin.
Well, you're yelling at me for no reason because you're saying I didn't.
Never said
I definitely. J-Fig. If I said they beat the Bills, I said so. Do you want to put $50 on it right now and go listen to the podcast? Put $50 on the table right now.
J-Fig, you did.
Okay, so don't say I didn't say something that I did.
He did.
If they beat the Bills in 2 weeks, hour 2 is up for appeal. But right now it's suspended indefinitely. Okay. And by the way, being up for appeal does not mean you're going to get cleared.
Can I just say this?
If they go and if he rides Ollie Gordon all the way to the win, then I'm not giving him appeal. If they win on pick sixes, I will. Yeah, give me a second. If he does that, then no, it's not up for appeal. If he balls out and he outplays Josh Allen, the appeal will be considered. It will be considered. It doesn't mean you're going to get through.
Okay, I have a question now. We categorized every game.
Mhm.
16 games.
Yes.
Till week 16.
Hmm.
Week 1 was a don't lose game.
Which they did.
So what is week 2? Because week 2, they just erase your line in the sand game. This was your new
I don't think
category.
they did, though. I thought about this on the way in, Vlad. I don't think they did, because I actually think this is even more of a line in the sand game if you really think about it. It's not a must win, but Buffalo, if they lose this game, Buffalo absolutely turns into a must win.
This is not a can't lose. You can't lose this.
You can't lose, but it is also a line in the sand. And here's the problem: when you lose a don't lose, it's kind of hard to say anything's a don't lose at that point. Things can turn into must wins, but to say, oh, hey, don't lose to the Patriots, that would connote that they are much better than the Patriots, which they don't look better than anybody. So it's still a line in the sand game.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to tell you something. I thought week 4 was the it week for the Miami Dolphins.
Yep.
I thought if they lost Monday night to the Jets, like they've lost the last 2 Monday nights at home to the Titans, I thought this would have been that would have been the game for Coach McDaniel to be fired.
Mm-hmm.
I've accelerated that. If they lose to the Patriots, he's getting fired on Friday after that Thursday night game against the Bills.
It's quite. No, I mean, he might get fired. He might get fired. He might get fired week 2, because who knows what Stephen Ross is going to do?
Because I'm looking at it this way: you play Thursday night against the Bills, and then your next game is Monday night against the Jets. You can't lose 2 primetime games in that matter of time, and you have a short week going from week 4 to week 5. If you're gonna make a move, it would probably be after the Buffalo game.
It probably would, because you'd have a longer week, but I could see if Stephen Ross, because I mean, all of yesterday was spent embarrassing the Dolphins, and rightfully so, on national television. But if they get absolutely boat raced in their building, the fans are booing, and the TV keeps cutting to him in that booth with him and Garfinkel and Marino, and he just looks absolutely miserable. He hasn't waddled one time. Then yeah,
waddled like in what, 2 years?
Yeah, he hasn't waddled in 2 years. He hasn't gotten to be sexy in 2 years with his hips. Yeah, I mean, I think all things are on the table after a week like that. That's why it was a don't lose. Anyway, Leroy, you mentioned the injuries. James Daniels, right guard, according to Jeremy Fowler, he's going to miss 3 to 4 weeks. Awesome. Storm Duck, he's also going to miss multiple weeks. And Austin Jackson re-aggravated his toe injury. They're looking at options for recovery.
So you're telling me the guys that were hurt prior to the season re-aggravated the injuries they had?
Or had new injuries.
Correct.
Or got new injuries.
Yes.
So they weren't healthy going in.
Austin Jackson.
We knew James Daniels wasn't healthy. They forced that man to play.
We know, James Daniels, they kept, who tore his Achilles last year. She was trying to beat science. And then science said, hold my beer. And they said, we're gonna hurt your back.
Science always says, hold my beer. Because like in your efforts to return from one injury, you're putting the rest of your body on, stressing out the rest of your body.
Yep.
And that's the part that you don't understand. But I would say this, and you know how I feel about this. If I have a need, if I need to turn a group on my team around, I'm not going to do it with injured players. In fact, if I have a guy who's less talented but available for 17 weeks or 18 weeks, that is more important to me than having a guy who's made 5 Pro Bowls but's coming off a knee or Achilles or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because I need bodies. What has plagued this team in the last few years is these nagging injuries where guys are, I mean, we had a depth chart before the first week of camp.
Yeah.
For our injury report.
Yeah, it was.
And so how, and I don't care how positive you are, the body is the body. Who cares what you think?
It's crazy.
And we do this constantly. And I've said this from day one, and you know this. I'm not signing. If I'm not the Kansas City Chiefs or the Buffalo Bills, I can't take risk. I'm not signing injured players. I'm not doing it. And look at where we are.
Not anywhere good, dude. That's
every guy you signed that has had substantial missed time is not playing.
let's get to we'll let you know about this. Champion boxer Mike Tyson is bringing his Return of the Mike show to the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood this December. Stories and more from Iron Mike. And we've got the chance for you to win tickets. Just text the word Tyson to 20357. TYSON. Tyson. Text that to 20357. For more information, go to WQM.com. It's a text contest. Message and data rates may apply. Don't text and drive. Tickets also available for purchase at casino.hardrock.com/Hollywood/events. I will say, I got mad at Mike McDaniel yesterday because he pulled a move that I was not happy with. I mean, his press conference was particularly awful. Like, Mike McDaniel's a tough listen on a win streak. Getting your ass kicked 33-8, Leroy. Wow. I mean, it's tough. But I thought he pulled a weasel move yesterday. I thought he pulled a weasel move yesterday for our boy Zach Sieler, right? Because Zach Sieler's been like the epitome of all things of what they're trying to fold. And yes, the defense did not have an impact. That's for sure. All right. So I'm not skating Zach Sieler as of right now. That's you're on trend for fat cat syndrome, dude. You need to go get some sacks. But I didn't like that he thought he could use an example of Zach Sieler because he knows Zach Sieler's a man's man and can take it. I didn't like that. I'm like, you either call people out or you don't. You've never been a call-out guy, and you decided to throw Zach Sieler under the bus yesterday, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it, and also, I didn't like it. It was weasel behavior.
So
Well,
No, I didn't like it. This was no, I didn't like it. You gotta let me get this guy here. He was ridiculous.
The mental focus on what the physical is. There was no lack of physicality. Okay, I'll give an example. All right, so there was probably, I mean, every starter on the tape that I was pointing out. But just so you guys, it's not I don't make a habit of putting family business and just, out at the podium. But for example's sake, there was one play that ultimately led to being an explosive that the utmost dependable player, Zach Sieler, in an attempt to get a sack at the final stage of pass rush, kind of voids his pass rush lane. Well-intentioned, trying to make a play. But the dropping of rush lanes allows for an explosive that, you have to learn how to, with new teammates, play with them and lean on them and trust them. So
typical rat behavior. This is what you either don't talk about family business or you do. And now all of a sudden, I know who I can say it and he won't get mad at me. I'll say it about my guy, Zach Sieler. And I'll say he made a mistake because I know he won't make a stink. Bet your ass if Tyreek Hill don't know around, he wouldn't say nothing about it. And so you throw my guy under the bus because the ship's a sinking. I don't like it, Leroy.
That's not why you do that.
It stinks.
That's not why you do that, though. You do it, one, because you're right. He can take it. But if everybody else sees that he's doing it a certain way, then they'll all follow suit and kind of get in line.
I'm telling you why he does it. I'll tell you why. Because you know what? He'll call out people in the media. But why do you do it in the media? Because Zach Sieler won't make a stink because he's a man's man.
Right.
And so from my standpoint,
exactly.
Here's why. It's the only reason you're saying that for me is to say that I call players out in the media. That's the only benefit of him doing that. Yep, it is. It's 100% a rat move by him. The only reason he's putting Zach, because even it was like, guys, I don't do this. And I'm sitting here and be like, well, either you do it or you don't do it. Why are you making an example out of Zach Sieler? Why are you trying to hurt his pride? I know why.
Because you can't. Because you can't. That's why you do it.
No, because you use him because you know he won't.
Right.
And that's why it's an easy thing to do. It's a weasel move. I didn't like it.
It happens more than you think.
I don't think does it.
Yeah.
He just said, "I don't do
If-
this."
No, but
If he does it in front of the
when you're gonna take that step to hold everybody accountable, right? You start at the top and work your way down. Calling out a rookie does nothing. That's low hanging fruit. Calling out a backup is low hanging fruit. But if you call out a captain, right, one that understands it, and sometimes they'll even pre-warn you. I've been warned, hey, I'm gonna call you out for fumbling. I'm like, okay, right? Then you understand, and everybody else kind of falls in line. So it's you got to do it strategically, and you have to do it to a guy who's not going to maybe react like Tyreek would.
I don't like
And
it.
that's kind of one of the reasons why Tyreek is not a captain.
Well, I get it. No, I understand why you're not going to call Tyreek Hill out, but I'm saying, like, if you're a not talk about business guy, that's not your thing, then don't do it. Why are you doing it now? Because you feel obligated after a 33-8 ass kicking to do it publicly?
No, that's not why he
That's
did
what
it.
it feels
though.
like.
Okay.
That's what it feels like.
Okay. Hey, you know. I mean, I'm telling you why they do it. It gets to the point where you got to almost call out the stars so that everybody else falls in line, so that everybody else understands, hey, we have a job, we have rules that we have to pay attention to keep the integrity of the play going or the rush. And if your stars are not doing that, then nobody's going to follow suit. So, yeah, I understand why he did it. It happens. But here's the deal. Whether you get called out or not, if you did the wrong thing and you get held accountable, so be it. You understand what I'm saying?
No, so be it. I'm sure that there's plenty of accountability in meetings. I'm talking about strategically doing it in the media. And I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing here.
Wait,
Now
so
all of a sudden I'm going to point fingers to my most non-drama guy to see, like, I got this under control. I'll call out Zach Sieler. It's like, yeah, you called out Zach Sieler. Big deal. Like, Zach Sieler's word is he's a man's man. He's going to go talk to kids and answer questions.
But I don't.
That's the kind of gentleman he is.
But I don't. The thing that I don't get is whether you get called out or not. If you made a mistake, you got to be accountable for it.
Sure. But but if you're the guy who,
so here's the deal.
He says it himself. I'm telling you what. He says it himself. It's off key for Mike McDaniel. I don't typically put family business out there, but I feel the need after an ass kicking to put some names to it.
All right.
And you put your guy out there.
So think about this. He said that about Zach Sieler. What's the difference in him saying that about Zach Sieler or having a reporter ask about it? You know what I mean? So a reporter, so when Omar asked Tua about the turnovers coming in bunches or stuff like that, right? We all know that, look, we can't turn the ball over. Like, we know that for a fact. Like, if somebody says that and I fumble twice, hell, everybody know it's me. Everybody know I'm about to get that smoke, right? So, like, you're a grown-ass man. Like, if a coach call you out or say something about a mistake you made, own it.
Yeah,
be better.
It's
Like,
not,
it
it's
doesn't,
not,
like,
it's
there's no nice way to go about this.
Yeah,
right?
but it's not sincere to me. That's what I'm saying. Like, the public call out isn't sincere. It's not about the fact that Zach Sieler did
It's
or
out
didn't
of his
make a mistake.
character. Yes,
It's out of his character. And now that the ship seems to be sinking, you're taking names
But
with
it's
you,
not,
or you're
it's not sinking.
it's taking on
If you're
water,
calling
dude.
out names, Zach Sieler is not the name to be calling out. It's your quarterback that you should have been calling out.
Right. And
He
that
doesn't call
much
out his
that
quarterback.
much that much that much I agree with. But Vlad, as a coach, you have to be careful with the different temperaments you have on the team, right?
4 years, man. You should
But
know
it doesn't change your temperament.
I get it, but your quarterback can't be sensitive to being criticized. And I understand. Lever, I'm not in the locker room. I'm just saying from the outside, not you. So take that. You're not in the locker room anymore. Take that away.
I understand.
From the outside, all us regular non-football players would think after 4 years, the quarterback can't be sensitive if he has a crappy game and he's getting called out.
But but certain people, like, here, think about this. Think about the relationship of Mike McDaniel and Tua when they came, when Mike McDaniel came here. He was fragile, right? Broken. So you got to kind of be careful with that. And I'm not saying he shouldn't be called out, and I'm not saying he shouldn't be held accountable for his mistakes, right?
Right.
But your personality is your personality, for the same reason why he won't call out Tyreek.
And
Tyreek was already hot on the sidelines for reasons nobody knows.
And I agree with you. But Tobin, you made a great point. I don't know if it was on your YouTube channel, the Tobin YouTube channel, or you said after he got that contract last year, and then he went on the Lebitard show, that man was peacocking.
He definitely was peacocking.
He was definitely peacocking. And then all of us, to be honest with you, the minute after he started peacocking, that's when everything went. Everything's been going bad since then. To be quite honest,
it hasn't. Well, no, it's been a disaster. I mean, he's
Right.
he's had a head injury, a hip injury, and 2 out of his last 3 games, he's thrown 3 turnovers, and they've been in very critical games for the team.
You can't be sensitive when you calling out, hey, the person that was previously here, he was so bad. Everybody here was upset with him and all that stuff. You started talking and you felt free to let yourself be heard, you were more comfortable expressing yourself. So when you get more comfortable to express yourself, you should be more comfortable to get critique as well.
You know what I would also say? I would say this for everybody on that team, is that when you think about being more physical and think about, having a culture, part of that is being able to handle being accountable.
Right.
Right. And so I do understand from the standpoint everybody is accountable for what you do on that football field. That being said, as a coach, you also have to manage personalities. And a person that plays that position, that you already know what you had to do to get him to this point of being positive and confident, right? You have to be careful with how you do that.
It is.
It doesn't mean that you just move on and not hold them accountable. It just means the way in which you do it has to take that into account.
Right. But I think that, when we say, why does he pick Zach Sieler? We know he's not sensitive. Like Zach Sieler, that's what the money's for. You're the face of the defense now. When is it with that for the quarterback?
Well, but again, you're taking the position and I'm looking at the person. So I don't care how much money you get paid. I don't care what position you play. Your personality is still your personality. And I think sometimes Mike tiptoes around that. Whereas if you go old school like Bill Parcells, he ain't give a damn. Right?
He did not give a damn.
But guess what? But guess what? Look at athletes now. That plays a bigger role as far as what athletes are now in any sport, more than how the coach approaches it or holding one guy accountable versus not. I'd say Spo could go to UD or go to D Wade and talk to them in a different way than he could talk to LeBron, right? Because their personalities are different. So while I get what you're saying, like when people talk about head coaches, the biggest thing they talk about is managing personalities. And that's the part that you have to be careful with. how you go about doing things like this.
Yeah, but we got to get to break. But this is the one thing I would say about Spo. Unless Spo's asked about it, he's like, that's why the Kalel thing was so rare, and he didn't do it to somebody who probably would be sensitive about it. Like, he does it to mean something, and so like I'm like, oh, he's
but he knows Kalel can handle it.
I don't know if he knows that.
Yeah,
but
he's been with that dude. He knows the temperament of Kalel, and guess what? When he did it, what happened?
Had a good game.
Right. So he responds to that. So like, and guess what? He did it in summer league and not during the regular season. So maybe he was putting it out there to see how he would respond.
A little chum in the water.
Yes, exactly. So
what if Zach Sieler responds by stuffing McDaniel in the locker?
Then guess what? then the next game, he'll be more physical because now he got a little red ass on him. So man, it's not easy.
Imagine him stuffing.
I can imagine it.
That was too funny.